Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha. Have you ever stopped to wonder what really happens in the very last moment of your life? What goes through your mind as you take your final breath? Could one single thought in that instant decide everything about your future? These are deep questions that many of us avoid, but they hold the key to understanding life itself. Hello dear friends, and welcome back to Son.Mindfulness. I'm truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us today. Think of this as a gentle conversation between friends, sharing timeless wisdom for your heart and mind. Please stay with us until the end of this video. What you will learn could transform how you live and prepare for the most important moment of all. Right now, millions of people over 50 are quietly facing the reality of aging and mortality. It is common to feel fear, confusion, or uncertainty about death, but it doesn't have to be this way. There is an ancient wisdom that reveals what really happens at death. This wisdom teaches us that the very last thought, the Chuty Chitta, holds incredible power. It shapes where we go next, who we become, or whether we find true freedom beyond rebirth. Understanding this final moment can bring peace and clarity. It helps us live with purpose, kindness, and calm each day, and it shows us practical ways to prepare for death without fear. At Son.Mindfulness, we are dedicated to sharing these gentle yet powerful teachings. Our mission is to guide you toward mindfulness, compassion, and awakening. If you find value in this message, please support us by subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us bring peace and clarity to more hearts every day. We warmly wish you good health, deep peace, lasting happiness, and may fortune always smile upon you. Now imagine your mind as a candle flame. The Chuty Chitta is the final flicker of that flame before it lights the next. What color will that flicker be? Will it be calm and bright, or restless and dark? Have you ever wondered what thoughts you want to carry into that final moment? What can you do now to shape that moment with wisdom and love? In this video, we will explore the secret teachings of the Buddha about death, karma, and rebirth. We will uncover how your final thought is influenced by your actions and habits, and we will learn how mindfulness and loving kindness prepare you to meet death with courage and peace. So, stay with us as we begin this journey into the heart of life's greatest mystery. The path to peace starts with understanding the Chuty Chitta, the final moment that decides everything. Part 1. The final moment. Chuty Chitta. Right now, someone somewhere is taking their very last breath. This moment may seem small, but it holds incredible power. It is the Chuty Chitta, the death consciousness, the final mental flash before life ends. Have you ever wondered what goes through your mind at the very end? Could one thought in that instant decide your entire future? The Buddha taught that this last thought is not random or accidental. Instead, it carries the weight of your whole life's actions and choices. It is a moment that shapes where you will go next, what you will become, or if you will ever return again. But what exactly is this Chuty Chitta? How does a single thought in the blink of an eye determine such a vast future? In the ancient Buddhist text called the Abhidhamma, the mind is described as a flowing stream of momentary thoughts, each arising and passing away in a flash. When death comes, one final thought, the Chuty Chitta, arises to close this lifetime. This thought does not feel pleasure or pain. It does not focus on external things. Its only duty is to conclude this life's mental process. Imagine your mind like a river. Each drop of water flows swiftly, joining the next. The Chuty Chitta is the last drop before the river merges into another. After this last thought fades, a new consciousness arises in a new existence. This is called Padasandhi Chitta, the rebirth linking consciousness. Like falling asleep in one place and waking up in another country, your mind crosses the threshold from one life to the next instantly. Think about this. If your mind is like a candle's flame, the Chuty Chitta is the final flicker before the flame transfers to a new candle. The quality of that flicker depends on what fuel has been feeding your mind all along, your karma. Now ask yourself, what kind of fuel am I giving my mind every day? Are my thoughts gentle and kind, or filled with anger and fear? Do I carry regrets, hopes, or attachments that might shape this final moment? Consider the story of a famous Buddhist monk, Ajahn Chah, who often reminded his students, "All our years of practice prepare us for one moment, the last moment." He said it is not enough to die peacefully. We must die wisely, with clear knowing and no clinging. This is because even one subtle attachment or thought at the last breath can plant the seed for another life in suffering. Conversely, one pure moment of mindfulness or loving kindness can erase lifetimes of negativity. The power of the Chuty Chitta is profound, but how can we prepare for this moment? How can we know what it will be like? The Buddha gave deep teachings to help us understand and influence this final flicker of mind. It is said that the mind at death follows the strongest groove created by our past habits and inclinations. Like a tree falling in the direction it leans, your final thought will follow the pattern you have carved throughout your life. This is why the Buddha urged constant mindfulness and wholesome living. Here is a question for you to ponder deeply. If you knew your final thought would decide your next life, what would you want it to be? How would you live today, knowing that each thought builds your future? In this very moment, your mind is preparing for the Chuty Chitta, even if you are not aware of it. Each kindness, each moment of wisdom gently shapes the direction your mind will lean when the final second comes. In the next part, we will explore the 4 types of karma that guide this last moment. Understanding these karmas can help us take responsibility for the quality of our final thought, and thus our rebirth. Let us now dive into the 4 types of karma that guide the final thought. Part 2. The 4 types of karma that guide the final thought. At the moment of death, your final thought, the Chuty Chitta, is shaped by a powerful force called karma. Karma means actions or deeds, but it is more than just what you do. It is the energy created by your intentions, words, and habits throughout your life. This energy directs your mind's final moment and influences where you will be reborn. The Buddha taught that 4 types of karma play a role in shaping the death consciousness. Knowing these can help you understand how your past shapes your future. 1. Weighty actions, guru karma. These are very strong deeds with heavy consequences. Think of actions so serious they leave deep marks on your mind. For example, there was a man named Deva who caused great harm by wounding the Buddha and causing division among followers. Because of these weighty actions, he was said to have fallen immediately into a painful hell realm after death. This shows how powerful some karma can be. Weighty karma can't be ignored. It pulls your final thoughts strongly toward its result. 2. Recent actions, asana karma. These are the deeds you do shortly before death. Even small good deeds at the end of life can influence your last thought. For instance, a layperson who offered robes to a monk on their deathbed might have this wholesome act appear in their final consciousness. This recent positive karma can help guide the mind to a better rebirth. 3. Habitual actions, akinama. These are the repeated actions or habits you develop over your lifetime. If you consistently show kindness, compassion, or cruelty, these habits shape your mind's tendencies. There is a story of a woman who regularly rescued injured birds. At her death, her habitual compassion led her to be reborn in a peaceful heavenly realm. Our daily habits build grooves in our mind that the Chuty Chitta will naturally follow. 4. Residual actions, kataka karma. This karma consists of all remaining actions that have not yet ripened. If none of the stronger karmas are present, this residual karma will shape your final thought by default. It is like the background music playing softly but still influencing the atmosphere. Now, ask yourself, what kinds of actions have I carried the longest in my life? Are there any weighty deeds I need to make peace with? What recent actions might influence my final moments? Do my daily habits nourish kindness and peace, or do they deepen suffering? Reflect on the story of King Ashoka, a great ruler known for his fierce past. After witnessing the suffering caused by his wars, he transformed his habits and mind through Buddhist teachings. This change shaped his karma, allowing him to die with a calm and wise Chuty Chitta, leading to a favorable rebirth. His life shows that even heavy karma can be softened through sincere effort and transformation. Understanding these four karmas helps us take responsibility for how we live every day. It encourages us to act with awareness and kindness, knowing that our final moment depends on the total energy we create. What will you do differently today to guide your final thought? How can you cultivate karma that brings peace, not pain? Next, we will explore the three visitors at death. Mysterious figures that appear in the dying mind, carrying messages that reveal our future path. This is a fascinating and deeply revealing chapter that sheds light on how our mind experiences the moment before rebirth. Part 3. The three visitors at death. As the body weakens and breath slows, something remarkable begins within the mind. In those final moments, three mysterious visitors may appear to the dying consciousness. These visitors are not people, but mental forms that carry messages about your past actions and future destiny. They are deeply connected to the karma you have created. The ancient Buddhist teachings describe these three visitors as 1. The deed itself, karma. Sometimes the exact action you performed in life replays clearly in your mind as you die. For example, a monk who once gave his only robe to another in need experienced that very moment vividly at death. Because this deed was a strong and recent act of generosity, it appeared clearly as his final thought. This led him to be reborn in a joyful heavenly realm. 2. The symbol of the deed, kama nimitta. If the actual deed does not appear, its symbol might arise instead. This symbol could be an image, sound, or scene linked to the action. Imagine a generous woman who offered alms daily using a golden bowl. At death, she did not see the act itself, but the shining golden bowl floated into her awareness. This symbol reminded her mind of her kindness and led to rebirth in a higher realm. In contrast, a fisherman who habitually caused suffering by using his net saw the image of that net at death. This symbol brought him fear and guided him to a lower realm. 3. The sign of the destination, gati nimitta. Sometimes the dying mind sees a vision of the realm where it will be reborn. This sign can be comforting or terrifying depending on your karma. A drunkard once saw blazing fires and screaming forms dragging him. He died terrified and was reborn in a painful realm. A virtuous lay follower, Dhammaka Upasaka, saw devas, heavenly beings, coming to greet him, and died with peace. These visitors become the objects of the last thought, the Chuty Chitta. They deeply influence the quality of the rebirth-linking consciousness that immediately follows. Have you ever wondered what images might appear in your mind at the last moment? Could it be a memory of your kindness, a symbol of your work, or a vision of your next home? Which visitor do you hope to meet? Remember, you do not choose these visitors at the moment of death. They arise naturally based on your life's karma and mental training. This is why the Buddha emphasized the importance of cultivating wholesome thoughts and deeds every day. A question to reflect on: if your life were a story, what visitors would appear in your final scene? Would they be scenes of generosity, symbols of compassion, or frightening warnings? The teachings invite us to live so fully and kindly that the visitors at death bring peace and light. Now, let us move forward to understand how your mind crosses from one life to the next without pause. In the next chapter, we explore the lightning bridge, how the mind crosses into the next life. This will reveal the seamless, astonishing process of rebirth and continuity beyond death. Part 4. The Lightning Bridge. How the mind crosses into the next life. Death is not the end. In Buddhism, it is described as a transfer, a flash of light moving from one life to the next. This moment is called Padasandhi Chitta, the rebirth linking consciousness. It connects the final thought of this life to the first thought of the next without interruption. Imagine lightning striking the night sky. It flashes brilliantly and then vanishes instantly. Between the strike and its disappearance, the sky is briefly illuminated. Similarly, the mind at death vanishes and immediately appears in the next life. No gap, no pause, no lost moment. Think of crossing a river in a small boat at dusk. If your boat glides gently with the current, you land safely on calm shores. If you row frantically in panic, you may crash into rocks and suffer. The Chuty Chitta is that moment your boat touches the shore. The quality of that landing depends on your karma and mental state. But what about the idea of a soul traveling from life to life? The Buddha taught there is no unchanging soul that migrates. Instead, the mind flows like a river, moment to moment, cause to effect. Each life is a continuation of this flow, not a permanent self. You might ask, if there is no soul, then who is reborn? The answer lies in causality. It is a stream of causes and conditions. Like one flame lighting another, the new flame is not the same but is connected. This is why rebirth is personal, but not eternal in a fixed self. At the moment of death, the mind completes its last active moments called jhana. This final mental energy shapes the first moments of the next life. The Buddha emphasized there is no intermediate waiting state. Rebirth is immediate, as instant as sound following a bell's ring. Now, ask yourself, how steady is the current of your mind? Are you rowing calmly or struggling with fear and confusion? What kind of shore will your mind land on? Famous Buddhist teachers remind us that preparing the mind for this crossing is essential. Cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom now guides the Chuty Chitta gently across the river of death. Consider the story of King Milinda, a great ruler who once asked a monk about rebirth. The monk explained that the mind is like a flame passing from one candle to another. King Milinda realized that no permanent soul passes, only a cause-effect flow. This insight freed him from fear of death. So, how do we prepare for this lightning bridge? By training the mind to be calm, clear, and free from clinging. This way, the final moment becomes a peaceful crossing instead of a fearful fall. Next, we will explore the vital role of mindfulness in preparing the mind for death. In the role of mindfulness, preparing the mind for the final moment, we learn how daily practice can shape the Chuty Chitta and ease the journey beyond. Part 5. The role of mindfulness. Preparing the mind for the final moment. Mindfulness is the gentle guardian of the mind. It means paying full attention to the present moment without judgment. The Buddha emphasized mindfulness as the key to freedom. But how does mindfulness help at the moment of death? Remember, your final thought, the Chuty Chitta, follows the strongest mental patterns you have formed. If you have practiced mindfulness daily, your mind will be calm and clear at the end. If not, confusion and fear may overwhelm you. Imagine a calm lake reflecting the sky perfectly. If you throw a stone, the water ripples and disturbs the reflection. Without mindfulness, your mind is like the disturbed lake, restless and chaotic. With mindfulness, it is like the calm lake, clear and peaceful. Mindfulness helps you recognize your thoughts, feelings, and cravings as they arise. You learn to see them as passing events, not permanent truths. This awareness helps reduce attachment and fear. Do you often find yourself caught in worries or regrets? Can you bring your attention back to your breath or body? Practicing this daily builds mental strength for life's hardest moments. There is a famous story about the great monk, Ajahn Mun. Even in old age and illness, he remained mindful and peaceful. His calm mind at death inspired many to understand the power of daily mindfulness. Mindfulness also helps you practice loving kindness, a wish for all beings to be happy and free from suffering. Loving kindness softens the heart and purifies the mind. At the moment of death, this loving energy can shine brightly in your Chuty Chitta. Ask yourself, what thoughts do I want to carry with me at the end? How can I prepare my mind now to meet death with courage and peace? What habits can I cultivate today that will guide my final moment? By practicing mindfulness, you plant seeds of peace, clarity, and kindness. These seeds grow and bloom when you need them most, at life's final crossing. In the next part, we will explore how craving and attachment, called tanha, bind the mind at death. Understanding craving helps us see what pulls us into suffering and how to release ourselves. Join me in the next chapter, Craving and Clinging, How They Bind the Mind at Death. Part 6, Craving and Clinging, How They Bind the Mind at Death. Craving, or tanha, is like a heavy chain wrapped tightly around the mind. It is the deep desire for pleasure, existence, or escape that pulls us back into the cycle of birth and death. At the moment of death, this craving becomes especially strong. The Chuty Chitta clings to what it loves or fears most. Imagine a compass that always points toward your deepest attachment. If you cling to wealth, fame, or even people, your mind locks onto that craving. This attachment guides the mind into its next destination. There is a story about a rich man who could not let go of his mansion. Even as he lay dying, his mind was fixed on that house. His final thought carried this clinging, planting the seed for another life tied to material desire. On the other hand, the Buddha taught that the awakened ones, the arahants, are free from craving. At their death, the Chuty Chitta arises and ceases without creating a new existence. They cross the final bridge into complete liberation. This is the ultimate goal, freedom from craving and the endless cycle of rebirth. But how do we get there? By daily practice of mindfulness and loving kindness, by seeing the impermanent nature of all things, by gently releasing our attachments and recognizing them as passing clouds. Ask yourself, what cravings hold my mind captive today? How can I practice letting go, even just a little each day? Can I prepare my final moment to be one of freedom, not bondage? Remember, even one pure moment of awareness at the end can cut through lifetimes of suffering. This is the secret power of the Chuty Chitta. It can be a moment of awakening. As we near the close of this journey, reflect on the great wisdom of the Buddha. Your last thought is not just an ending, it is a doorway to rebirth, or to freedom beyond rebirth. In the next section, we will gather these insights and offer a gentle conclusion. We will explore how to live today with this knowledge, so your final moment becomes one of peace and clarity. Conclusion: embracing the wisdom of your final moment. Thank you sincerely for joining this journey through the deepest teachings of the Buddha. You have now explored how the very last thought, the Chuty Chitta, holds the key to what comes next. We learned that this moment is shaped by the karma you create through your actions, habits, and intentions. You discovered the 4 types of karma that influence your final mind and the 3 mysterious visitors at death. You understood the lightning-fast crossing from one life to the next, the Padasandhi Chitta. You saw how mindfulness is the greatest ally in preparing your mind for that last moment. And you faced the challenge of craving, the powerful force that binds or frees you at death. Have you ever paused to think deeply about your own Chuty Chitta? What kind of final thought do you want to carry with you? How can you live today to shape that moment with peace and wisdom? I truly appreciate your openness to these teachings. It takes courage and kindness to reflect on life and death so honestly. I congratulate you for recognizing the value in these lessons. They are not just words, but tools to transform your life step by step. May you take these teachings and practice them gently each day. Let mindfulness guide you. Let loving kindness soften your heart. And let wisdom shine through your last moment and beyond. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights may inspire others walking this path. If you found this sharing meaningful, please subscribe to the Son.Mindfulness channel. Your support helps us bring more wisdom and peace to many hearts. I wish you good health, deep peace, and lasting happiness. May fortune and kindness follow you wherever you go. Remember, the journey of 1,000 lives begins with the moment you live fully now. So live well, love deeply, and prepare your mind with care. Thank you again for being here. I look forward to walking this mindful path together. Thank you.